All you need to begin is a chair on a surface that's not going to slip. So make sure your chair is not going anywhere, or that would be a fun surprise. All right, so you can come to the edge of your seat and just make sure you're away from the backrest. So you use your own body to lift your spine and support yourself comfortably. You can close your eyes right away once you feel settled. And just check in with both feet, make sure they're evenly planted on the floor. Both of your buttocks, both of your hip bones are planted on your seat. And even feel for your shoulders, are they over your hips? So sometimes we have a tendency to lean forward or back, depending on our posture. So can you sense for the balance of stacking your shoulders on top of your pelvis? And then same with your head, you can kind of bobble it back and forth a little bit. Find space right in between the shoulders, right in the center of your collarbones. And then shift your attention to your breathing. And first, just notice that you are, in fact, breathing. And then notice what that feels like. If you can, breathe in and out through your nose. Notice if one nostril might feel more open or closed. That's pretty normal. Notice the temperature of your breath. And notice where you feel movement as you inhale and exhale. You might notice it around the belly or your low waist, even to the back. You might feel it in the sides of your ribs, your chest, upper back, even shoulders. And then we'll just start simply with an even breath. It's called samavriti, or same fluctuation of breath. So we'll try a ratio of 1 to 1, maybe a 3 count or a 5 count, or whatever's comfortable for you. Just simply inhaling 1, 2, 3 or longer, and exhaling the same 1, 2, 3, or extending that longer. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3. And exhaling 1, 2, 3. And just do that a few more times at your own pace. And this has a balancing effect to our nervous system, to our mind, which really is what yoga is all about, calming the mind. And take one more breath like this. And then join your hands together, just breathe naturally. And if you'd like to set an intention, you could do that now, which could be one word or a short phrase, maybe a gratitude or something you would like to focus on today. Then take a deep breath in through your nose and let it out of your mouth. Rub your hands together, warm your palms. And then once your hands are warmed up, cover your eyes, blink your eyes open, and then simply relax your hands back down. All right, so we'll start with some movements now, and we'll just begin with the head and the neck. So simply nod your chin towards your chest, and then nod your chin forward or up towards the ceiling, whatever feels comfortable. So you're just saying yes a few times. And feeling what you feel, the front of your neck, the back of your neck, the sides, even internally, the throat, the tongue, the jaw. Perhaps even your shoulders and your upper back. Let's do that one more time. Breathing however is comfortable. And then come back to neutral and nod your head from side to side like you were saying no. And notice if you can turn your head more in one direction than the other. That is very normal. I feel that myself. It's much easier to go to the right. Notice if your shoulders want to go along for the ride, can you keep them still and just let your head and your neck move independent of the rest of the body. And then if you'd like this to be a little more advanced, look out of the corner of your eye. So seeing what you see to the side of you, perhaps even behind you. One more time each way. All right, come back to center. You can close your eyes if you feel a little dizzy or strained there. And then just roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Just looping the arm bones around a few times. And your hands can just rest on your lap as you do this. And then slow down and switch. Go up, forward, and down and around. And these can be small circles, they can be larger, whatever's comfortable. All right, and then rest your shoulders down. Take a breath in, and now we're going to arch our spine forward, lifting the chest, drawing the shoulders back. And exhale, draw the shoulders forward, press your back towards the backrest, so you're rounding your spine. And then inhale, just do that again. Reach your chest forward. You could look up if that's safe for your neck. And exhale, press your upper back towards the back of your chair, maybe look down. So we're stretching all of the tissues around the lungs, around the heart. Bringing a little more fluidity to this region of the spine that tends to be rigid, which we want because the ribs attach and we have vital organs inside the ribs. But we don't want to feel so constricted that it affects our breath. So this is a great one to do if you have difficulty breathing anytime. Last one. All right, and then come back to neutral. Nice tall spine. Take a breath in and reach your arms out to the sides. And then exhale, wrap your arms around you and give yourself an embrace to whatever degree. So you could be able to touch your shoulders or maybe your upper back, and then just switch, other elbow on top, and go through that a few times. Now if this is comfortable, you could kind of combine the movement we just did with the arms. So you'll reach your chest forward, arch your spine, and then exhale, round your back, maybe look down as you give yourself a hug. And then make sure you're crossing the arms, so we try to balance through the right and left side. And just a couple more of these. And come back to neutral. Let your breath settle. If it got a little bit agitated or elevated, maybe your heart rate went up slightly, just let all that return to normal and slow. Take a breath in, counting 1, 2, 3, and exhale, 1, 2, 3. All right, now next breath in, reach your arms out and up as high as you can reach. And then exhale, simply bring the arms back down. So a lot of the movements that we do in yoga are focused around the chest. around the upper back, around opening the lungs and improving the elasticity, because the breath is the most important aspect of this practice and really anything that you do. So feel how this widens and creates more space in your chest cavity, giving your lungs more opportunity to open and receive oxygen. And then even more opportunity to empty out and flush your body. Take one more breath like this. Big stretch. You can stretch open through the hands as well, the fingers. And then exhale, lower the arms down. Just give your upper body a rest. And you can either hold on to the sides of the chair if you need a little assistance, or your armrests, or just let them dangle. Pick one leg up and just start to circle through the hip. And it'll feel like the knee, because that's more obvious. So you could focus on drawing circles with the knee. And if you want some assistance from your arms, you can guide that leg around. And then switch and go the other way. This takes a good amount of balance, so you'll have to feel your belly muscles drawing in and back to keep your spine from collapsing and rounding towards the back of your chair. All right, set that foot down, do the other side. So with or without your arms, just draw circles with the leg bone inside the hip socket. And then go the other way. And you might have to adjust your seat, maybe scooching a little further forward. Just make sure you don't come out of your chair. All right, last time. And then set the foot back down. Bring your feet hips distance apart, and we'll go through some sun salutations or Surya Namaskar. So with the support of your legs, inhale, lift the arms up. So you push into the feet to find more length. Exhale, start to lean forward, angling your upper body over your thighs. You could stop here, bring your hands to your knees, or you could slide your hands all the way down the legs towards the floor, drop your head. Inhale, come back up to that half position. So hands on your knees, look forward. And exhale, fold back down again, any amount. Now push into your feet, use the strength of your legs. Inhale, lift yourself up, wing your arms out and towards the ceiling. And then exhale, bring your arms back down. So that constitutes one round. We'll try two more. So when you're ready, breath comes first. Inhale, then the arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward to whatever degree is comfortable for you. Pause on your knees or slide the hands down the legs. Maybe look underneath the chair. Inhale, come up halfway. Stretch your spine forward, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, fold back down. Just let your spine drape over the legs or in between them. Push into the feet. Inhale, come up, sit tall. Reach your arms to the highest point. And then exhale, bring your arms back down. And if you're feeling your heart rate kind of increase, that's typical, that's normal. So take a rest if you need to. Otherwise, one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Empty your breath completely. Inhale, come up halfway, look forward. Exhale, fold back down, nice and easy. Make sure not to give yourself whiplash here through the head. Push into the feet, inhale, sit tall, lift the arms up. Find as much length in your spine as you can. And then exhale, keep that length and just relax the arms down. Great. So that's a great movement or series of movements to do if you're short on time. You kind of work the whole body, maybe not the legs so much, but your upper body certainly. All right, so now I'm going to turn to the side of my chair just so you can see what we're going to do. We're going to work on the upper back a little bit more. So the position that we did in the sun salutation where you're leaning forward, or the half lift, we'll come into that. So you lean over your thighs, keeping your back as straight as possible, and either support yourself with your hands resting on your knees, or you could hover your hands off of your legs just right in front of your shoulders. And you could stay right here, squeezing your elbows into the sides of your body and letting your back muscles engage to resist the force of gravity. So just this lean is going to help tone the muscles on your back. Look forward as you do this. Try not to let the head sag. Take one more breath. And then push yourself up with the support of your arms. Okay, so we'll add on to that if it feels safe. So you could either come back to what we just did, leaning forward, hands on your knees, hands could hover, or you could take your elbows out to the sides, kind of like a cactus shape or goalpost shape. It would look like this. And you have to engage your shoulders now as well as the muscles on the back. So this makes it a little more challenging. Push into your feet, let your legs support you. Take one more breath here. Bring your hands down, push yourself back up to sit tall. Okay, so we'll do one more variation of that. Lean forward. Now you could stay, you could lift your hands, you could take the arms out into this cactus shape, or I'll show you from the side. If you have space and the armrests aren't in the way, you float your arms back by your sides. So your palms could face in towards the sides of your body, or they could face up away from you. So it's kind of like little airplane wings, and you're trying to streamline yourself as much as possible. Squeezing not only the back muscles, the shoulders, but also your triceps now. So hug the arms into the side ribs. You could even make a fist if you find it difficult to engage those muscles. Take one more breath. And then bring the arms up. Press yourself to have a seat and take a break. Now if you were doing that right, you should feel maybe warmer, or you possibly broke a sweat. I certainly did. So let's stretch that out a little bit now, and I'll give you some options here. So you could cross your right arm over your chest and just simply hug the upper arm into your body. If you want more intensity, you straighten your arm and hug it in with your left arm. So you kind of hold underneath. This is similar, maybe did this in gym class. Similar stretch. And then last option, if you would like more intensity, more sensation, the right arm comes up, tap yourself on the back, left hand holds the elbow. And this would be a much deeper sensation, at least for me it is. But it's all really just variations of the same stretch, so you see what feels more appropriate. If your head's being thrown forward, press it back, or go to one of the earlier variations. Let's take one more breath here. And slowly release the pose on your right arm, and let's go to the left side. So you can cross, tapping your right shoulder. You could stretch the arm out, or you could bring the hand towards your upper back, give yourself a little pat, and hold on to the elbow. Or if you have another version where you want to get creative, you can try something different. I actually like this one better, so I'm going to do this. And draw your attention to your breath. It's like you have a magnet and you're drawing your mind to the breath with the magnet. Next exhale, you can release the pose, relax your arm. And we can come up to stand if you like for this next pose. Otherwise, you lean forward and take the variation we did with that kind of half lift, only resting on your elbows. So it's this, or you come up to stand, and you can either use the back of your chair or the seat of your chair. Hands would come to the backrest first. Walk your feet back and lean forward until you're making kind of an L shape, or you find some degree of angle, keeping your upper body as straight as possible. So starting high and then going low if it feels comfortable, maybe to the seat. You can rest your hands on the seat, or you could even bring your elbows down to the seat of the chair. Walk your feet back, maybe bend the knees if your hamstrings or the backs of your legs feel stiff. And let the upper body start to become more parallel to the floor. And the head could hover, might even nod it a few times just to relax the neck. And shift the weight back into your legs, back into your feet to feel more traction coming into the spine, more space in the upper body. One more breath here. And then wherever you are, walk yourself up. You can step your feet closer to the chair, come to stand, take your time. And we'll move into a Trikonasana or triangle pose. So I'll show you the seated version first. You could have a seat, open your knees wide apart, and lean your upper body to one side, resting your elbow on your thigh, maybe holding the hip with your other hand, or the shoulder, or you could lean, stretching the arm alongside your ear. So that's the version seated. If you'd like to do this standing, we'll start by bringing the right foot underneath the chair as best you can, or as close as possible, and then step your left foot back. So your right toes point right underneath the chair. Your left toes kind of make a right angle from your right. So your right heel would bisect your left arch, if that makes sense. And then slight bend in your right knee. Bring your hand to the seat of your chair and start to lean towards the chair. So it's the same sensation. You're going for a side stretch here. And you're just using the chair for support. Now you could also take your left hand to your shoulder or lift it up if that's comfortable. And take one or two breaths here, finding as much space from the hip through the ribs into the armpit as possible. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, slowly come up and do the other side. So either seated, knees wide apart, you lean to the other leg and stretch. Okay, so that's your choice. Or you stand. This time, if you're standing, I'm switching to my left leg to the chair, right foot steps back, and then I lean to place my hand on the seat, extend through the side body, and open up through my torso. And then that right hand can do whatever feels the most appropriate. And the pose or the posture, the shape doesn't matter. It's your breath. So do whatever is giving you the most ease and comfort as you inhale and exhale. One more breath here. All right, bend your knee if you're standing. Push yourself up. Kind of step your back foot in and come to have a seat again. Okay, moving to the edge, but keeping both of your hips in your chair. And we'll go for a twist now. So let's have the feet hip distance apart, And we'll keep that theme that we've been using today of leaning forward slightly. Bring your right forearm to rest across your thighs. So you just rest your wrist and your elbow on your thighs. Now take your left hand to your left hip, push down into your right forearm and turn your chest to the left. And it's this. You can stay here or take your left hand to your shoulder for more of an opening across your armpit and the left side of your chest. Or you can wing that arm out to the side, maybe on the left or back behind you. Whatever feels more comfortable. And as you breathe in, can you find length from the tip of your tailbone all the way out through the crown of your head? And as you exhale, can you draw your belly muscles back to wrap around your ribs and revolve your torso more to the left? Take one more breath here. And then exhale, unwind, and we'll switch sides. So you can come up if you need to for a beat or two. Neutralize before you shift to the other side. And then when you're ready, lean forward. This time bring your left forearm to rest across your thighs. Okay? You could even stay here. You get a little bit of a twist even just bringing that shoulder forward. Or the right hand comes to your hip. You could also hold the shoulder, or it could stretch out or up as you turn with the strength of your belly. Turn your chest to the right. And it helps if you push your forearm down into your legs to do that. You can get a little bit more traction for your spine. Notice if your shoulders are shrugging up to your ears, can you let them hang down a little lower to find more space through your neck? And keep pushing into your feet for support. Unclench your jaw. Let there be space between your teeth. Take one more breath. And then slowly unwind. Bring your hands to your thighs. Press yourself up. And let's take a breath with the arms to kind of wipe the slate clean. So just like we did earlier, inhale, arms out and up. And exhale, arms out and down. All right, now let's have a forward fold and kind of release all these muscles we were using in the back. So you could take your knees wider apart if you like. I find that easier. And lean forward, either resting your elbows on your thighs. And here you could even drop your head and let it hang. Or if you have a little more flexibility and your hands can reach the floor, you could bring your hands to the floor or perhaps even your lower legs and just hold on. And let your spine flow out of the pelvis. Just kind of like a waterfall cascading down. Relax your neck. Let the weight of your head hang. And breathe into the back of your lungs. Take one more breath here. Now to come up, engage the belly muscles, push into your feet, bring one hand to one leg, then the other, and press yourself up. Okay, now close the legs, and let's have a hip stretch now. So I'll give you a few options here. One could be standing, one can be seated. And the first one would be to just draw the right leg up towards you. And you might even choose to scooch back in your chair to make this a little bit easier. If you have the flexibility, your foot might even come to step on the seat. So this could be a version of a hip stretch. You could also just hold underneath the thigh and pull the leg up towards you. Now, depending on the flexibility of your outer hip, you might be able to cross the ankle on top of your left thigh. So see how that goes. You can test the waters if that's appropriate or not. You could stay right here. Give some flexion to your foot. So you pull the toes back, push through the heel. That's going to protect the knee. And perhaps you lean forward to create more sensation through the outer right hip. And you can hold onto your chair anywhere or rest your elbows on your leg. Okay, so this could be your stretch. If you wanted to do a variation kind of the standing, you would stand in front of the chair, bring your right foot to the seat, and lean forward, either holding armrests or hands come to the seat. But I prefer the seated variation. And let's just take 1 or 2 more breaths here and return to that ratio, balancing the inhale and exhale, maybe a 3 count or even longer. And then at the bottom of your next exhale, slowly press yourself up and simply switch sides. So if you'd like to go through the steps, you can figure out which version is the most comfortable, or if you have an idea of what you'd like to do already, you could take that version. So options are holding the knee, crossing the ankle on top of the thigh, just make sure the foot stays active to protect your knee joint. You could lean forward into that stretch. Just take care that you're not slouching excessively. Or if you wanted to do this standing or something similar, you stand near the chair, left foot goes to the seat, and perhaps lean forward and bring your palms to rest on the chair. Couple more breaths. When you're finished with your next exhale, you can uncross the leg if you had it crossed, or step off the chair. Come back to your seat, readjust, so both of your sitting bones are planted in the chair firmly. And we'll do a couple practices that aren't technically poses, but they are ways to exercise the body and open it up. So the first one is called Simhasana, which means lion's pose. And it may feel kind of silly, so if you need to turn away, if you have insecurity about it, that's okay, but I'll show you. It's just simply extending the tongue to relax your throat and your jaw. So you'll take a breath in, and exhale, just stick your tongue out as far as you can. Imagine this kind of long lion's tongue hanging out of your mouth. Do that twice more. Inhale, exhale, stick out your tongue. And you could sigh audibly as you do this if you like. One more time. And relax. Okay, so that was the embarrassing one. Now the next one we'll do are some eye exercises. So if you spend a lot of time looking at a screen or reading, These are good to help tone the little muscles behind our eye. And there's even been studies shown that people's vision improve with regular practice of these exercises. So the first one is we're just going to look up and down 5 times in a row. So keep your head still, look up towards the ceiling and down towards the floor. And again, up, down, up, down, up, down. I lost track. One more. And then close your eyes for a moment, let them rest. Next, we'll go side to side or right to left. So open your eyes, look to the right, left, right, left. Keep your head still as you do this. Just gaze out of the corners of your eye. Once more, right, left, and relax. Close your eyes. And last exercise we'll do are full circles or rotations. So you can imagine a clock face or something if you need to help visualize. Just take your eyes around in a circle. Remember what direction you're going. All the way around 5 times one way. Pause at the top of the clock or whatever you're using to visualize and go the other direction. And you may notice that your tongue wants to rotate as well. Can you keep it still? And just let the eyes move. When you're finished, close your eyes, rub your hands together, and place your hands over your eyes. And let the warmth of your hands soothe the face, soothe the eyeballs, and relax any tension. Take one more breath. Bring the hands down, and now we'll come to rest our whole body. So you could scooch back in your chair if you want to stay seated. Let your back come to rest. Maybe you place a pillow behind you. Or if you'd like, you could lay on the floor and prop your shins up on the seat of your chair. This is completely optional, but that just gives you a variation to relax even more if you prefer. I'm pretty sure Zoom is going to cut us off soon. So just let your body relax completely from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Relax all of your effort. Close your eyes if you haven't yet. And bring your attention inward. And this is the real goal of yoga, to draw our attention inward, this inward journey, getting to know ourselves and realizing that peace and joy reside within. You can spend 5 or even 10 minutes resting here as long as you like.